Day 29, little transparency post. So I actually really wanted to move to New York. That was my ultimate goal as a little girl. I really wanted to move to New York, and I really wanted to live in LA. Like, I had a snowball, I remember, and it was like a little Hollywood sign that was like inside of it, and I used to like shake it and play with it, and I used to be like, damn, like I really want to be like in Hollywood. And then like every time we would travel to New York, I always asked my dad, I'm like, can you please stop in Times Square? I was like, please. I was like, whatever it is that you do, like, can we just drive past, or like, can we just stop through like somehow? And even now as an adult, like, I always like to stop through New York. Even when I was there recording, like, a couple months ago, like, even when, like, I was there, like, and I had my first meeting with Def Jam, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is shit I dreamed about when I was a kid. So in this video, you see, like, me, like, walking to, like, the middle of Times Square with my mom. Because I wanted the picture so bad. And the thing is, I never even posted the picture because I wasn't on social media. So I was like, Mom, I just really want, like, to feel, like, what the inside of Times Square feels like. And she's like, Sej, you've seen this shit 20 times and you always come back. I was like, yeah, I know. But it's like seeing the Hollywood sign, or like being in the middle of all those lights in Times Square. Like, any small town girl with big dreams knows what I mean. Just that feeling is like everything. And it's like, I remember fighting this man on New Year's Eve because I wanted to watch the ball drop so bad. It was fucking freezing, and my mom and dad stayed outside in the cold with me just because I wanted to watch the ball drop. And we sat outside for like 10 hours, and all because I wanted to. They sat outside with me, and this one man had, like, I think he like stepped on my mom or like pushed my mom or some shit, and I fucking beat this man's ass outside. And we ended up getting like moved from like the curb all the way to like another area, and people was giving us like hand warmers and like feet warmers and shit. And mind you, like, we're just on the curb, like in the crowd of Times Square, just to watch the ball drop because I wanted to so bad. And like anytime I go back, I'm just like, I feel like a fucking kid again. Like, I feel like in like a concrete jungle where like real dreams and shit are like come full circle and they come to life. It just is up to you to bring them to life. So I always like to go back to New York for some reason. I don't know why. Even when I was there a couple months ago, like, I remember I was in Times Square and I was driving. I had just left fucking Def Jam. I had just left. And I was like, damn, I was just in Def Jam today. And I was in Music Choice the day before. I was like, what the fuck, girl? Shit's different now. We still ain't there yet. But I didn't even have a fucking song to play them. Nothing. And I'm like, just driving, because I just didn't want to go home. I was like, fuck, life feels so good right now. Like, even though like I didn't really have anywhere to stay, I was staying on my friends' couches. I was like, life feels so good right now. Like, I don't want to fuck this up. Like, I don't want to leave New York. And I remember I was just driving around, and I looked up, and somehow I was in the middle of Times Square. And I was just on my phone, just recording all the lights. This was like 2 months ago. And I'm just recording all the lights on some dumb shit. And then I get a random phone call from one of my friends who's like into music and promoting and like events and shit or whatever in Atlanta. Mind you, it's like 10:30 at night. I get a call and he's like, Sage. And I was like, hey, what's up? And he's like, yo, I'm gonna need you in Atlanta tomorrow. And I was like, what? I'm like, what do you mean you're gonna need me in Atlanta? And he's like, I got a great opportunity for you. It's an interview with YouTube, and I don't know what you're doing, but I think you should really, like, you know, try to be there. And I'm like, I'm in New York right now, like in Times Square. He's like, yeah, I actually saw that on your Instagram, but I'm just letting you know, like, this is a great opportunity. And I was like, is it paid? He's like, no, but it's a great opportunity to get you some decent exposure, and there's one person that just really wants you to be a part of the opportunity. And I was like, okay. I didn't even know what it was about, y'all. And as I was parked in the middle of Times Square, I was in so much traffic, I was at standstill. And it was like, damn, I was like meant to be there right at that moment, getting that phone call. So I flew out. I didn't even go home. I left New York, and I left New York right when he said that. And I quickly booked my flight. And the clothes that I did have, my parents were in Delaware and they had my dog. And the clothes that I did have, I just took with me. And I was like, fuck it, I don't know what I'm going for, but I know I gotta go for something. And I know whatever it is, like, it'll probably be worth it. So I packed my shit. That was at 10:30, and I got on the first flight at 5:30. I went from New York back to Philly, and then flew out from Philly to Atlanta. And I made it like 10 minutes late. And it's so crazy because it was a producer that I met outside. Big Boy was walking in as I was walking out as I was walking in. And I'm like, what the fuck? Big Boy's here. Like, what is going on? I was like, what is this thing? And apparently it was like YouTube Live. It was like the YouTube headquarters for like Atlanta. And there was a producer that was outside. And I don't know what he said to me, but I parked in a spot that wasn't even a spot. It's so crazy because he remembered the conversation. And he reached out to me today. And he's like, yeah, I met you outside of the YouTube Live space. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you did. And he's like, yeah, like, you just seemed like somebody that I needed to connect with. And I was like, really? And I was like, damn, that's crazy. I was like, because that was months ago. And I was like, you randomly reached out to me today. And he wants to develop me as an artist. Because, like, that's, like, what he does. And I'm like, damn. I was meant to get that call. I was meant to be in Times Square at that time. Everything happens full circle, you guys. There's a reason why God always brought me back to Times Square. There's a reason as to why I had these dreams when I was younger. I put them into the universe when I was a kid. I didn't know what I was going to be, and neither did the world. But I knew that it would be something. And whatever it was, I just cared that I did right by people. And I helped people in the most genuine way possible. And now looking back on it, I have. And I never gave up on myself. And I'm damn sure glad that I didn't. Damn, tomorrow's the last day. Is it? Oh yeah, because day 31 I went back on social media because it was New Year's. Oh my God. Damn, y'all. Y'all made it.